Round one, opponent has chosen to play second. I can't say I'm a huge fan of this hand, but I think I'm going to keep. We have enough 2-drops that could pan out well for us on the if we draw one. Otherwise, turn 3, 2-3. Might have to accept it. We'll find out. All right, parapet's pretty good roadblock for us to deal with. All right, well, new plan. Let's drop a Harrier. And pass. So playing against some Sultai action. If he plays Morph, I still attack into it just to get our Horde Chief online. I'm willing to trade off a Harrier, I think. 1/5 flyers, not too game breaking. Quiet Contemplation. That's actually the first time I've seen that. So that's kind of interesting. Ooh, Hooded Hydra seems like a real good one. This turn in particular, since next turn I can unmorph it. Yeah, I might want to do that. Alternatively, I can sort of hold on to the Hydra, but so Hydra versus Horde Chief here. I think we do Hydra. It seems like just an insane threat to have next turn. Kind of forces him to kill it right away, too. At least we have a couple morph, so he's not sure which one's which. All right. Seems like a great opportunity to unmorph our important guy. Roar of Challenge for when we need it. Very nice. Let's see how our opponent chooses to block, if at all. If he doesn't, we're of course still unmorphing the Hooded Hydra. But let's see what his decision is. Well, one of these guys is dying. All right. So I guess he can bounce Hydra. That's like one way to get around it, but otherwise he has to exile it. So I guess Suspension Field, but that's in white. I think we're just pretty much dodging bounce spells at this point. If Hooded Hydra dies, we're looking pretty good. I guess Quiet Contemplation keeps it locked down pretty effectively too, so that is a nice tool at his disposal. But if we can find another land, we're in Tusked Colossedon territory, which is very nice. Then we'll have a couple pretty big threats out there for him to have to deal with, especially with the Roar of Challenge backup for that awesome indestructibility. I think the problem is Roar of Challenge is much less good against Quiet Contemplation. We're going to have to be keeping our eyes open for Crippling Chills, which synergize extremely well with this. He would get to draw a card and double lock 2 guys down for 2 attack steps, which is very, very powerful. I always see Quiet Contemplation. It goes late, and I've even gotten it, and I never play it. So this will at least be an interesting experiment. I think the problem with it is a lot of decks aren't non-creature spell heavy. This is a very creature heavy format, it feels like, because of all the morph. So I think it's more difficult to make a good deck with Quiet Contemplation. But in fact, we haven't even seen a non-creature spell yet besides the Quiet Contemplation. All right, looks like one more morph guy and an embodiment of spring. Okay. Let's see if we get the land, and we do. So I think we're just going to be doing the Tusked Colossedon this turn. Oops. Didn't wait until the block phase. Taking it all, which I don't think I would do since he's been blocking, but feels like a good time to do Colossedon. It's a big, huge threat in addition to our Hooded Hydra. It's going to make the Quiet Contemplation a little bit more difficult to reap full value from. So he's got to kill something here. At least now, I think he's more motivated, much more motivated to kill the Colossedon since it doesn't reap substantial rewards for me like Hooded Hydra does. But if he taps out this turn, it's going to be a pretty amazing opportunity to cast Roar of Challenge as well as Savage Punch in a turn. Potentially lethal if I can find something more, just a bit more damage. Very close though. Just getting a board wipe out of him would be very nice. Alright, he did in fact have the bounce spell, which is a bit crappy, but we're now at the point where we're 1 mana away from just, we don't even have to do the morph shenanigan. But admittedly, the Force Away is pretty good there. I could even pretty easily recast him as a 4/4, I would think, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. I think it's probably better to morph and get that Horde Chief out. So he did it on his turn too, which is pretty fascinating. I think I would have waited till my turn. He's probably dodging the Feat of Resistance, would be my guess. And he's attacking, all right. Two cards left in our opponent's hand, which is also very nice. Yeah, this seems like a pretty easy turn. So we just go Morph, Dude attacks in. We get the Horde Chief and a Morphed Hydra down. Although, maybe I want to dodge the removal, so maybe just hard casting the Hydras in order for 4. The problem is, if I morph in the Hydra now, he's going to know it's the Hydra, so something like a debilitating injury would be, well, more debilitating. But another thing to think about is we've got the Rush of Battle, which is going to work really well with the Raid. I don't know. I think it's actually better to morph the Hydra, even if he has removal at this point. I think that's okay. Although, I mean, there's a good argument either way. There's a legitimately good argument either way. Hardcasting this is better if he has debilitating injury. Getting our Horde Chief and both of them out to set up for a nice Rush of Battle is a pretty good argument too, though. So let's do that plan. Let's get the Horde Chief. Let's get our Hydra morphed. And let's pass. I guess this sets me up for a Death Frenzy, which can be kind of nasty, but Death Frenzy, it'll kill quite a few things. So there are some things I'm playing into here that can be bad. We'll at least be left with a Colossedon and a Horde Chief. But he will have gotten the better side of this. So if he has Death Frenzy or Debilitating Injury, it would have been better to hardcast the Hydra. If he doesn't, I have no problem unmorphing it as a 5/5 again. So he's at the point where he can cast Rite of the Serpent as well as tap something down. Seems like an X spell. Are we dealing with a Villainous Wealth here? Singing Bell Strike. All right. One card left in his hand. Kind of want to unmorph the Hydra at the end of his turn. So I have 7 mana, which means I can technically Savage Punch something. Let's try to think what that morph could be. At 4 mana, it's none of the... He can't unmorph it if it's any of the commons. I don't really care about losing either of these guys. I kind of want to get a little bit more damage in. Or at least force a trade. Could be Sidisi's pet, I guess. I think I'm just going to swing in these two. I can't think of a lot of things this could be at 4 mana. I mean, if it's Sidisi's pet, I'd rather him just unmorph it now. Alright, so I'm not exactly sure what it is, but we're not going to Savage Punch this turn, I don't think. I could. Very easily could. Just not sure I want to. He's got 1 card in hand. I mean, I can. It's debatable. The thing is, I can Savage Punch plus Unmorph, which is nice. Maybe we do that. Let's turn it up. I'm curious enough as to what it is. And this basically forces him to, yeah, wow, well, I mean, I'm pretty happy I did. That guy is big. He's got one card left in hand. We've got a Hydra that's going to be able to come in next turn. Uh-oh. Looks like Villainous Wealth now. Yeah. All right. For 5, it's pretty good. I think we can still win. He's at 11 life. I think if we Roar of Challenge our 1/1, well, I guess we're just short of lethal. We're actually 1 short of lethal. But I think I can just do Roar of Challenge plus Rush of Battle. Did he miss on everything? Please tell me he just missed. Kill Shot, Hooting Man. Oh my god. Straight up miss. Villainous Wealth. That's how I felt when I played it in my first draft. I think we just go for lethal. It shows them more cards, but at this point it doesn't matter. You just concedes, all right. So, Sultai, definitely not beatdown. So they're going for the long game plan that could stop the Quiet Contemplation within a race. Didn't attack me much, which makes Kill Shot less attractive. Pretty much just played a bunch of defensive stuff, but Willie Loxodon would certainly be a card I'd like to take out with Kill Shot. I'm trying to think how focused he is on that Quiet Contemplation. It did, you know what? It did a bunch of work for him. It really did. Locked down my Clocidon for 2 full turns. I could see bringing the Erase in. I'm not opposed to it. Do I want to for sure do it over the Kill Shot? Possibly. Possibly. Could do it over the Awaken the Bear. The Awaken the Bear seems a lot better for us, though, than the Kill Shot. Again, in this match. I guess I'll bring in the Erase for the Contemplation. Like I said, I think it did some work for him. It's also one more thing, like Kill Shot, that sort of sucks when you Villainous Wealth. I don't even think we have any enchantments to hit with it, so. Alright, let's try it again. Alright, round 2, and I think we better mulligan this. Seems a bit dangerous. This hand's acceptable. Have both colors. Let's see if he still has this on the play. I guess. Not looking hyper aggressive this game. It's a good threat. Especially with a Savage Punch sitting there waiting to be used against the first Morph guy, I presume. Yeah. So, I'm just going to fight that guy. Make my guy huge. Ooh, it's nice too, eventually. But, yeah, let's slay here. Get in for 6. Sagu Archer is the card. Ooh. Alright. I say we go for this. It's like a kill spell on him, essentially. Let's try and wear him down as much as we can with this Grizzly. Oh, I guess it could have been a flock. That might have been a dangerous move. But he didn't want to block? Alright, well, it wasn't a flock. That was a really bold move on my part doing that, since he had the one blue up and he's already shown us that he runs the flock. So yeah, that was a dangerous play on my part. That could have been just a straight up waste of rough challenge. All right. I think we still swing. Let's keep his board as empty as possible. Just taking it. All right, so he wants that dude. Interesting. Let's get the master down now. One more mana and we can flip it up for something nasty potentially. I think this is a good opportunity to sort of build my board. So I'm just going to hard cast this guy. I think at this point we're just setting up for a really nice turn. Just get as many creatures on board as possible. Get him to a point where either Rush of Battle or Master of Pearls is doing work. Multiple Loxodons. It's pretty good. It's a good card. Nice way to hold down the fort. Always still a big risk of Death Frenzy. Ooh, 7/7 out of nowhere, huh? It's pretty nice. Yeah, especially since 7 is the actual magic number against us. It's a lot of nice tools at our opponent's disposal at the moment. Guess we still have a race for that too. It's another good reason to have brought a race in. Let's see how he swings. It's a wise attack. All right. We'll take it. See if we can't get a land here. Land would be ideal. All right. So now we just swing with our flyer. And we'll drop the Colossadon. Then we set ourselves up for a nice either Rush of Battle or Unmorph of our Master of Pearls, both of which are pretty solid plays. Tempted to take it. Bring us down to 2. I don't have any good blocks here. Die to any sort of trick. This is interesting. I guess alternatively, can double block the Loxodon. That could be really bad too. I think our best shot's taking it. So, based on this, we do have lethal. If Grizzly and Harrier can get in. I think we go for lethal here. I guess what I should have done is... No, I was going to say do Rush of Battle pre, but I think we'll go for this. I guess we die to a bounce effect, which kind of sucks, but... I mean... Yeah, let's go for lethal. All right, he had it. I don't think I was going to win this game, so I'm okay with that. So if I hadn't unmorphed the Master of Pearls and played a follow-up Horde Chief, could have just bounced our Chief and then killed us. So we were dead anyway. He sliced it. He just had the right cards at the right time. We also had to mulligan. Taking my excuse. I'll take it. We had a mulligan. Kept a mediocre hand at 6. Our opponent obviously had a very good hand. All right. Still like the erase. Now more than ever. I guess we have to play the kill shot. I was wrong. Very important against him now that I've seen some apparent bomb creatures that I didn't see before. So what do we cut for the kill shot? Could cut one of our Harriers. Roar of Challenge seems a big liability against him because he's got the bounce effects. But then again, so does Savage Punches. What do I cut? What do I cut? I'd prefer to not cut a bear. He seems fairly slow. He does have a parapet, I guess, but let's cut a Harrier. They're a little bit clunky. I mean, they're fine. They're all well and good because they fly, but it feels like it takes a long time to make them fly. I haven't done it much. All right, let's try this again. He wants to play second, which is kind of odd. I'm trying to think if I should hurt him by playing... Does it hurt him by making him do what he doesn't want to do? Typically, that's my strategy. If they're trying to be on the draw, I like to make them play first. But I think there's enough advantage to us going first where I still want to do it. Yeah, this is a good hand. Got a lot of early plays. No parapet is nice. Rush of Battle eventually is also nice. Yeah, let's bash in. And I could actually play the Master here because it makes better use of our mana, but I want to do the Highland game because if he plays Morph, it's much better for us to strike into that instead. Parapet, pretty good there. Obviously the card he drew. Erase, very nice. That could eventually be good for us. Guess I should have left that erase mana up. Didn't even think about it. Currently has not played a blue source yet. If he plays a Morph guy, it's a pretty good opportunity to play Rush of Battle. Potentially get in for 8 damage. Seems worth it. I'd like to get a couple more creatures down, but ooh, Country Evocation's a pretty nasty one against us. Let's see if we can't get that all squared away. Well, Longshot Squad is in fact a card, so let's just, as long as we're playing creatures, I got no issues. I guess Death Frenzy wrecks us now, but I'm hoping there's a pretty good chance he's got it. We passed it. He hasn't played it in 2 games, but it doesn't mean he doesn't have it in his deck. Be a tough card to recover from. All right. All right. Sagu Archer, much less intimidating than the other thing I was worried about. This is tough. This is tough now. I guess we have to do Watcher. Leave up a race. Still can't attack in, but 1 more mana and we're sitting real good for a nice assault. Wish I could have outlasted this turn too, but that's all right. Just got to set ourselves up for a nice rush of battle at some point. Wish I had more. Wish I had actual warriors out. All right, 1 more turn of this. All right. It's a lot of good defense that I can't deal with. Let's reveal. To be honest, I don't want to reveal any of those. Let's see if we draw another white spell. It doesn't cost me anything. Well, 5th land. It is Master Pearl's territory here. He can crack back for lethal, though. And I can't really kill much of anything on his board. Oh, I guess he can't crack back for lethal because of the Watcher. So maybe we can... This is an interesting one. I want him to think he has lethal, though. Because then that really motivates him to attack in with everything, and then we can unmorph. God, I think the problem is we're going to have casualties. Well, we're not going to have much for casualties, though. All right, let's swing team here, unmorph this, leave this morphed, and then hope he cracks in for 9. Then we unmorph, gain 2. So this is a really risky play, but this is kind of not going our way otherwise. So I feel like it is the correct play. We swing team. We're not doing as much as I want, but I'm hoping if he attacks us back for lethal, the rush of battle on the next turn is going to be enough. But we'll find out. I mean, we're gonna be close to lethal, that's for sure. With that Archer's Parapet especially. But I think the good news is because of this morph, he's not going to be able to kill anything. Unless he double blocks. But even if he double blocks, we're still kind of sticking to the same game plan. This is definitely a risky play. So we deal 9 to him. He keeps his board, but we get to unmorph this surprise factor when he strikes us for lethal, which I think he will do. He doesn't know we have this card yet either, I don't think. Maybe he does, but... I mean, we died a bunch of different stuff. We died of pump spells and stuff like that, but like I said, I still think it's worth it. We're tapped out, like, he must think he has lethal. Alright, so he strikes for lethal. So now we reveal... I guess we can do blockers first, or whatever. Alright, no blockers. Now we do it. We'll reveal erase, because that way he doesn't know about the rush of battle. We can beat, I think even, can I beat 2 more creatures? I guess I can't beat, no, I can beat. I can beat 2 more creatures. I can beat a removal spell. So I can beat quite a bit. I'm hoping the old bait move is what I needed, though. Let's find out. Clearly, we're just going to go for it here. did have the removal. Still not quite enough. Well, that was cool. I'm glad that the Watcher of the Roost play panned out for us. That was just a bait that was really too good for him to refuse, and it was just perfect for us. Just gave us a good opening to finish him off. All right, very cool. I'll see you round 2.